Are you all able to online? Can you all able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, we'll start with Jai Radha Madhava. Hare Krishna, Leela That Prabhu. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yamuna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Good morning, everyone. Again, Happy New Year. I'll share the screen. Does everyone online can see it?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are going to read from Canto 1, Chapter 9, text number 2 and 3. As we do in our tradition, there's no purport for 6 second sloka. So we will be combining that with the third sloka. Tata te bhratara sarve sat ashvai swarnabhushitai anvagachan rate vipraha vyasadomyadayasthatha. Bhagavan api viprashe ratena satananjaya sate vyarochat nripaha vera iva guhyakaihi. Bhagavan api viprashe ratena satananjaya atir vyarochat nripaha Kuvera iva guhyakaihi. Maybe one or two can recite these slokas and we can get started.
Bhagavan api viprashe Vatena karma
Someone?
Bhagavan api viprashe Ratena sadhananjaya Satay virochata nripaha Kuvera iva guhyakaihi.
One person from online, maybe?
भगवानपि विप्रसे रतेन स धनञ्जयः
Ratena satananjaya
ततैर्व्यारोचत नृपः
प्रत्यज्ञारोचत नृपः
कुबेर इव गुह्यकैः
कुबेर इव गुह्यकैः. Thank you. So we'll do the 4x4. Tada,
Tada,
at that time,
at that time,
they,
they,
all of them, Bhrataraha,
Bhratraha,
the brothers,
brothers,
Sarve,
Sarve,
all together,
all together,
Tat Ashvaihi,
Sarvaswai,
drawn by first class horses,
drawn by first class horses,
Swarna,
Swarna,
gold,
gold,
Bhushitaihi,
Bhushitai,
being decorated with
being decorated,
Anvagachan, followed one after another,
followed one after another,
Rataihi,
right,
on the chariots,
on the chariot,
Vipraha, O Brahmanas, Vyasa,
Vyasa,
the sage Vyasa,
Vyasa,
Dhaumya,
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 Adayaha,
Adayaha,
and others,
and others,
Tata,
Tata,
also
also,
Bhagavan. The personality of God is Sri Krishna. Api, also Vipra Rishi, O sage among the Brahmanas, Ratena, on the chariot, Sa Dhananjaya, with Dhananjaya, Arjuna, Saha, he, Taihi, by them, Vyarochata, appeared to be highly aristocratic,
appeared to be highly aristocratic,
Nripaha, the king,
Yudhishthira,
Yudhishthira, Kuvera,
Kubera,
Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, Iva, as Guhyakaihi, companions known as Guhyas. Translation at purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. I got the control. At that time, all his brothers followed him. Everyone. At that time, all his brothers followed him on beautiful chariots drawn by first-class horses, decorated with gold ornaments. With them were Vyasa, rishis like Dhaumya, the learned priests of the Pandavas, and others. O sage among the Brahmanas, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, also followed, seated on a chariot with Arjuna. Thus King Yudhishthira appeared very aristocratic, like Kubera, surrounded by his companions, the Guhyagas. But Lord Sri Krishna wanted the Pandavas to be present before Bhishmadeva in the most aristocratic order, so that he might be pleased to see them happy at the time of death. Kuvera is the richest of all demigods, and herein King Yudhishthira appeared like him, Kuvera, for the procession along with Sri Krishna was quite appropriate to the royalty of King Yudhishthira. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapita Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Khadamayam Tadanti Swa Padantikam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all for joining this morning for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. It is said that Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Sauva Brahme iti. That is, Itihasas and Puranas are considered to be very important for one to understand the Vedas. One cannot go to Vedas and study Vedas directly because the Vedas themselves are shivering. If anyone goes directly to the Vedas and try to understand what are these Vedas are. The best way to understand Vedas is by reading and understanding the Itihasas and Puranas. Itihasas are two, which is Srimad Ramayana and Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam. And then Puranas are 18 in numbers. And of that, which is Amalam Puranam, the best of all the Puranas, considered to be Srimad Bhagavatam. From the Itihasas, we know that Vyasadeva has written Mahabharata, and then Valmiki Ramayana is written by Valmiki Muni. Pujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Madurashtakam Ahukya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmane Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Vasyaya Vasishtaya Vyasam Vasishta Naktaram Sakte Pautramagalmasham Parasaratmajam Vande Sukatatam Taponivim. Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's Loka. So Vyasa is coming from a great lineage. His father, his great grandfather, and so forth. And then also his son was Sukadeva Goswami. They are not ordinary people. Therefore, Vyasa as great soul was given us Mahabharata, which is of 125,000 slokas. And same Vyasa has given also Srimad Bhagavatam to us, all of us, which is 18,000 slokas. So there's a big correlation between Mahabharatam and Srimad Bhagavatam. And this particular ghata, this particular stage or place where we are in, after Krishna finished all his projects, helping the Pandavas, getting them the kingdom, he is ready to leave. At that point, Queen Kunti came and stops him, requests him to stay back. And then again, he was ready to go. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj was there, requesting Krishna to stay back. What happened is in Mahabharata, we have to go back to Mahabharata, we can continue so that we can understand this one. Mahabharata, which has 18 parvas, whereas Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters also. And the Yuddha took place for 18 days. The 18 number is quite significant over here. And in the 18 parvas, the 12th parva is called Shanti Parva. In the Shanti Parva, where Bhishma Dev is lying down on this bed of arrows over there, unattended. Just imagine you've been not well and no one is there to come and say hi to you or give a glass of water. Bhishma Dev was lying there unattended because everyone was busy over there. After won the battle, they went back and took care of the necessary Jalatila Tarpanam, means whatever is need to be done for the whoever died, passed away. We got to do some ritual things that needs to be done. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is very perfect, as they say, Pakka, that he took care of everything for everyone, not only for his father, his parents, his group, even for the Kauravas. He is the only one who's left out to do this ritual thing because someone has to perform. Someone has to do. So Yudhishthira Maharaj did everything for the Pandavas, the Kauravas, and everyone who passed away. Those things are all done. After that, he went to the banks of the Ganges and he was there for 1 month. This is where we are connecting Mahabharatam to Srimad Bhagavatam. He was there in Ganges for 1 month because after finishing, he stayed back. Lot of the sages and rishis were coming and going that side. And he stood there and then he was hearing from them because he had a lot of doubts and questions in his mind. Many rishis came. He was asking to them, all the sandeha, means the questions and doubts that he had in his mind about what has happened in his life so far. So everyone was answering these things. But then still he was not completely satisfied. He wants something more to pacify his mind because according to him, he is thinking that what he did was not right. Therefore, he was thinking that it was bothering him for a long time. Especially, we see in the world there are two types of people. One type is where a person does wrong thing and then doesn't even bother about consequences or what other people think. Whereas the other kind of people, somehow or the other, they do wrong thing. But then that bothers them a lot. They cannot be in peace. They cannot have sleep. They just really, literally, they are not in happy mood. They're present, not mentally present, because they know they've done something wrong. And they constantly, what should I do? I've done something wrong. But in this case, interestingly, Those people who have done wrong, they think they have not done wrong. Whereas in Yudhishthira Maharaj's case, he has not done anything wrong, but he is thinking that he has done wrong. That's his greatness. That's greatness. Yeah? So Yudhishthira Maharaj was thinking like that. At that point of time, Krishna was also present. Krishna said, why don't you just go and meet with Bhishma Dev, who's going to pass away very shortly. Why don't you talk to him and clarify all the doubts that you have, because he's going to leave very soon. If he goes, then you won't have the best person to ask all the questions. He is the one who can answer all the questions, dharma, about the dharma. So why don't you go and ask him all the questions that you need to ask? And then the conversation took place. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj was not happy. Once you are not happy, you want to make sure find the root cause of the being unhappy and then solve the issue. Therefore, in Mahabharata, the Shanti Parva is a very important Parva where we can find a lot of answers to our doubts that we have, questions that we have. What are the interesting, very interesting questions and conversation took place between Bhishma and Yudhishthira Maharaj. Amazing questions. And then all the answers are topmost answers. Why? Because most of us who are living in this world, as long as we live in this world, we want to continue be suffering? No. As long as we live in this world, we want to be happy. That happiness differs from according to person, but everyone who, as long as we live in this world, we want to be happy. The second part of the thing of mankind, Shri Krishna Balaram Nitai Gauranataraj Ki Jai, is that not only we want to be happy, if you're a wise person, you will do the second part of also as we live in this world. We want to be happy now. Today want to have a nice prasadam, whatever is being cooked, we want to be happy now. At the same time, we also making sure when I go home, the lunch is also there. Dinner is there. Tomorrow something is there for me. That means what? I want to be happy right now and also want to be happy to make sure that I'm happy the coming hours, coming evening, tomorrow, for next year, for 5 years, for 10 years. And someone is very, very intelligent will start thinking after my life. Not only this lifetime, I also want to make sure that I'm happy even after I leave this body. This is for those people who strongly believe and have a faith that life is not one. Life is anadikala, means for several lifetimes that there's no beginning. We've been continuing life after life after life after life after life, taking body after body after body, different types of body. Therefore, in future also we may get another body. The smart person will think, what am I going to do? Not only to be happy now, also in the future after I leave this body. He will start thinking. You might have heard the story from me in the past. If you've heard, it's a repetition again. There was one man, a merchant. The merchant was traveling on this with his business, as his people, going from country to country, selling his goods, whatever the goods he had. And he was traveling on the ocean sea. Somehow or the other, was a heavy wind, waves, and turmoils, and all these different things. And he lost the ship, and then all the people, all the goods he had. Somehow or the other, he also drowned, but luckily he got into an island. The waves pushed him into the island. He was unconscious over there. When he became conscious, he realized that he's been carried by some people to some place. Then he opened his eyes. All this, the people of those that forest, that area, island, they dressed up weirdly and all those things. They're carrying him in a palanquin. And then he was going, and they gave him a nice bath, dressed him up nicely, applied him all oils, special oils, everything, and took him to a big palace over there, and asked him to sit on the throne. He sat on the throne, and he said, everyone said loudly, all glories to our king. Just imagine, he's a businessman traveling all over the place. Suddenly he's been appointed as a king for that island. So he became very happy. So his life was going on nicely, and whatever he wants, everything was being done for him. He was taking care, he was being taken care, enjoying life in an island, Hawaii, like island. So he was just happily drinking and enjoying dances and songs and everything. One day, he was got up in the morning. He was getting ready by all his servants, making him get ready. At that time, he had a thought: what is happening here? Why in the world that I've been taken and chosen as a king? So that day, when he went to his palace, the court, he asked his minister, "Hey, what is this? All this? I came from nowhere, pushed by the waves, and why did you make me a king? What is all these things?" Then the chief minister said, "The rule of this island is that a stranger comes into this place, we make him as the king, and then he remains as a king for 1 year." And the king said, "Oh, what after 1 year?" And the minister said, "Come with me, my dear lord." He took him, went to the shore of where he came, right, the seashore. He went there. You see right there in the distance, right over there, he saw some land, a piece of land. We take him over there and leave him there. And then king asked, "What's in there?" Minister said, "Nothing." "What do you mean nothing? What about, I don't see any building." "Yeah, no building." "What about food?" "No food." "What about shelter?" And nothing. "You want to see what's there?" Yeah. The king was taken over there to see, because he's a king, he can make an order. Still he's a king, right? So he wanted to see, he saw all bones, skull, everything. And he said, "What is all this?" "These are all our previous kings."
Oh.
"These are all our previous kings." Immediately king said, "Okay, let's go back." He came back to the kingdom. The next day he issued a special bill. Within next 6 months, because he had only 6 months time, within next 6 months, built a palace over there. Because he's a king, he can make an order. He said, build a palace over there, make a residence over there, do everything, all the arrangements over there. And as per the king's order, things were made, arrangements were made. 1 month, 12 months over, December 31st, January 1st, the king was taken and left over there. What's the problem now? For the king, no problem. He was living happily over there because the king was wise enough to think about the future. He made an arrangement for the future that's coming in today, now. If the king said, "Well, 1 year, that's fine. Whatever I can enjoy, I will enjoy it. It's all my karma. When I go there, I have to die." So he did not think it's all because of my karma, I have to suffer and I don't need to take any action. Krishna has given God has given intelligence to people to make decisions in their life, choices in their life. We cannot simply blame, "It's my karma, therefore I'm not coming to the temple." Whenever Krishna's mercy comes, that time I'll chant 16 down, that time I'll become initiated, that time I'll take it Krishna conscious seriously. No. So we have to make it serious that God has given us intelligence to make a right choice in our life, discriminate right things and what is right and what is bad, and choose, like this king. This is not a real story, by the way, you all know. It's just a thing to connect over here. So now our Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking many questions he asked to Bhishma Dev. One of the questions that he is asking is this one, where I'm going to read. Nashtaya dhaneva dhareva putre pitariva mrityaya buddhya nidashchokam tanme bruhi pitamaha. He said, Nashtaya. Nashtaya means when we lose dhanam, when we lose dhara means wife, when we lose putra, son, when we lose our parents, something happens in our family, we lose someone in our life. It could be a wealth, we lost our wealth, we lost our spouse, or we may lose our children, or our parents, or our loved ones. Why is that we are suffering? Why we are feeling sad? What type of question is this? Yes, obviously when you lose someone is going to feel sad. They are going to feel sad. Why even we have to ask this question? That's where the question is. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj is going through the pain of loss of his family, extended family members. His family members have lost. Now he's feeling the pains. Dukkham is just bothering him so much. And this is the question. This is a sample question, by the way. Shanti Parva is filled with such questions. Amazing questions, these questions. And the beauty of this Parva is such a way that Yudhishthira Maharaj does not give a dry lecture like what I'm doing now. Not dry lecture. For every question, he gives a short story. Beautiful short stories that even the children can understand. Fish story, deer story, a woman story, a lady story, snake story, all the, some of this, you see the Panchatantra stories that you see, it's also coming from, you'll be amazed. Some of the stories also taken from this Parva, where Bhishma Dev is telling story. No one, when we read Panchatantra and all, we think, oh, it's a nice story. But actually, some of these are coming from this Puranas, these stories, Mahabharata. So the thing is, why am I feeling pain when I lose my wealth, the loved one? It could be an object of a living entity or a non-living entity. Why am I feeling suffering? And Bhishma Dev says, you should understand the cause of Sukham and Dukkham. What is the cause? Sukha hetuhu, Dukkha hetuhu. So he gives a formula, beautiful formula. He says, what is the cause of Sukham? There are two things. What is the cause of Dukkham? There are two things. What are the cause of Dukkham? Cause of the Sukham is that when we have desirable things coming to us, that gives us Sukham. When the undesirable things goes away, that gives us Sukham. Yes, I have a headache, it goes away, brings me Sukham. I want halwa, it comes to me. Desirable things, Sukham. So the formula of Sukha Hetu is when desirable things comes to us, Sukham. When undesirable things goes away, Sukham. That is the formula. Dukkha Hetu, reverse, ulta. When desirable things goes away from us, brings us Dukkham. When undesirable comes to us, Dukkham. As simple as this. You just put a table 2 by 2. Right? What is Dukkham? What is Sukham? Sukham, a desirable thing comes to us. I like something, I want something. It comes to us, Sukham. When the undesirable, I don't want this friend, I don't want this person, and I don't want this thing goes away, Sukham. Dukkham is the reverse of that one. Undesirable things stays with us, and desirable things goes away from us. The Bhishma Dev says, this is the problem. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj asks, that is life. His response to Bhishma Dev's answer is, that is how life is. Why? Because life, don't we hear this constantly saying that life means it's not a straight line. Like what does it call you when you go to the hospital in ICU or somewhere, they put all this the wires and things on our body everywhere so that the monitor is there. The monitor, you say, no, everyone, the family members and doctors, including the person, the patient is lying down, is happy when he sees the waves of this one goes ups and downs. And if someone is telling, oh boy, this graph is not at all nice, it has to be straight. It has to be straight line, not X and Y goes ups and down. You're in Vaikunta, that means you're gone. Already you're dead. The line should not be straight, it has to be ups and downs. So that sometimes people talk to us giving advices, Prabhu, Mataji, life means there will be ups and downs. That is what life is. And that's natural. That's what it is. But the problem what Bhishma Dev is trying to address to Yudhishthira Maharaj is, when ups and downs happens in your life, when up happens, his advice is, Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jayo jayo. Don't stick on to the up. Don't stay there forever. When you're in up, don't stay there forever thinking that this is what life is all the time. By the time you realize this is what life is, everything is fantastic, comes down. When things happens opposite to our thought process, when things happen down, don't think this is what life is. Stay there forever. Stay there forever. That's not what is. As you think, because no one is, it is said, it's a formula of life is, if you laugh for one day, we are going to cry for 2 days. If you cry for 2 days, one day you will laugh. See the formula. Krishna formula is very smart. It's not only equally. The crying in the world is more than laughing. Those who are feeling, those whom we see they are laughing, actually having pains in their heart. No one is going to express, this is my problem, Prabhu. Everyone is having some problem or some pain in their heart, which can be expressed, which cannot be expressed. Therefore, the moment that we have to think is, I think I heard this joke, like a story from someone, some devotee. Let me say this. This is very nice. So there was a king where the king was being gifted by sage comes, and the king was very much attached to his kingdom and being happy and so forth. Then the sage comes. He said, "My dear king, I'm going to give you a ring, gold ring, and wear this ring. It's a locket ring. You know, locket that you can open and keep some precious thing inside. It can open they also have a dollar, right? Like a pendulum dollar. You can open that dollar and you can keep something inside, precious thing. Therefore, the Rishi said, I'm going to give you this ring. Do not open this ring. But when you become, well, you should only open this thing because there's something inside this ring. You should only open this ring when it's really needed in an emergency situation, not otherwise. In an emergency situation, you open this and you'll find peace at that time. And the king said, okay, he accepted. He's a nice person, he accepted. Life was going on. The neighbor king came, started fighting and defeating this king, our ring king. Then the king was running away from the kingdom with his horse, and he went to a point where he cannot escape any further. He cannot escape any further. At that point of time, he remembered the ring that the rishi gave, sage gave. Emergency situation. You can open this ring. So he opened this ring and unpacked. There was a piece of paper in it. That's all. Piece of paper. He opened the paper. He read, this too will pass. This too will pass. When he read and meditated upon this, internally he became very peaceful. The problem that I am having in my life right now will pass. Will pass. It is not eternally we are all going to continue being in that particular situation. We all suffer for eternity. Or it's not the situation in this world, we are eternally going to be happy. Right? So this person was in a serious problem, though he said, opened it, this too will pass. He became peaceful. For his surprise, whoever is following, they disappeared. They went looking in some other direction. But the king went back to his kingdom of another friend, gathered army, went back, fought that king, got the kingdom back, and then he became so very happy. He just called for a party, enjoyment, and everything. He was in the peak of his joy. At the peak of the joy, again he remembered the ring. He opened the ring. The message didn't change. This too will pass. You're joyful now, this too will pass. Therefore, the happiest moment or the sad moment is not that something we have to stick on to rest of our life. Therefore, the waves that we go through, ups and downs, it will happen. But we don't want to get stuck when we are in the up. I'm very happy now. No, just take it in the middle, stay in the middle. So that will pass. This will also pass. So life, that's how the life is. Let's go on. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sukha Dukkhe Samaya Kritva. So what happens is that because we mostly spend our time contemplating on the problems of the life, we don't have much time, or either problems of the life, or we are spending much time in the sukham. Either one, we are spending time. Most of the time, we are trying to solve the problems of the life, or second, or we are trying to enjoy the life. Most of the time, this is what we are trying to do. Because we are spending most of our time to enjoy the life or solve the problems of the life, we don't have much time to Krishna consciousness. Or our time in Krishna consciousness is compromised, reduced. Why? Because our thought is completely captivated in solving the problems of our life to be happy in this world. Therefore, we don't have much time. Therefore, Adi Shankaracharya says, Balastavat krida saktah, tarunastavat taruni saktah, viddastavat chinta saktah, parame brahmani kopina saktah. Beautiful. Adi Shankara says this one. When you are a child, balastavat krida saktah. Krida means to play. When we are young, we are so busy playing games. Tarunastavas taruni saktah. When we become young, we are engaged with affairs in family. Taruni, beautiful affairs, whatever we have. With our wives or friends and opposite gender and so forth, life spends on that. Vriddhastava chinta saktah. Okay, what about when you become vriddha? We become old. Now you think about what happened in the past. Chintam is, oh my God, if I was like that, I would have made millions of dollars. If I was like this, my life would have been better. When you become old, you think I spoiled my youth. I spoiled my when I was healthy and I had all the opportunities. I would have led a better life. Now I lost the opportunity. Chintam, always chinta, always worrying about what has happened in the past. Less he thinks about, not he. Most of everyone who's thinking about it. Parame, ko, who is thinking about Krishna? There's no time to think about Krishna because our entire life is busy in the childhood, in the youth, and in the old age. Therefore, no time for any one of us to think about Krishna, and life is getting wasted. Because Sukha Dukkham, always we are balancing to solve the problems and be happy and so forth. Therefore, what we have to do is Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nashtam. Nashta Praya, all the problems of the life will be saved and will be gone. But when we take Bhagavatam seriously, Bhagavatam is not simply a storybook. When we hear Bhagavatam, the problems that we have at that moment at least goes away and gives us strength to solve the problems or deal the problems. The words of Vyasadeva is not, Sukadev Goswami, Sutta Goswami, is not just a flowery words like the Vedas to attract some people. It's the fact. The fact can only be realized if we take that fact with complete faith. With that faith. Otherwise, how much hour we understand, that much hour we get the reciprocation from Krishna. Therefore, with that said, for next few minutes, from these two slokas, there are 4 or 5 lessons that we can learn. And we see what are the 5 lessons and we conclude. Okay? So, this sloka that we have here, Tadhate Bhratara Sarve Sad Ashvaihi Swarna Bhushitaihi Kanvagachan Rate Vipraha Vyasa Daumyadas Tatha. So, first lesson we have to go is, I'm going to go in this, something has been told. And these lessons are very simple lessons. Do not think I'm going to talk about some complicated Vedanta tattvas. No, very simple lessons that we can take to our life by this 2 slokas. The one lesson, the first lesson we can learn is why in the world that Sukadev Goswami, when he's telling this to Parikshit Maharaj, or Vyasa when he's composing this whole Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the necessity of, he is telling that Tad Ashvaihi Swarna Bhushitaihi. Ashwa means horse. What type of horse? First class horse. Not an ordinary horse, dying horse. First class horse. And how these horse were, they were Swarna Bhushitaihi. They were decorated to the best with gold ornaments. Gold. How does it matter for us? Whether the horse is dressed up or decorated or not decorated, how does it really matter? Why even Vyasadeva, Sukadev Goswami had to add this line? He went in car. Over. Prabhu, how did you come over here to the temple? Venumadri, Prabhu, how did you come to the temple? By car. If I tell he came by the car, which is a color of this one, which add all the AI technologies, and he doesn't need to drive, it drives by itself. Why? Prabhu, did he come to the temple finally or not? That's matter for me. Why I have to describe all this thing? It matters. Why it matters? See, most of us are migrants, immigrants. So we came from a different hometown, different country. And our people, the relatives and family members and parents who are living in India, for example, they expect that my son is over there. He's happy. Whatever it is, he's happy there. Now the parents are thinking that he's happy and you're going to go visit your parents. When you go, you take a Lufthansa Airlines or whatever airline, Qatar or whatever it is. Finally, you go and you land to the airport, Mumbai airport. And then over there, you're going to go to your place. You have to drive or you have to go, right? It's not right. You have to go half an hour, 1 hour, or 2 hours, whatever. You call for a rickshaw. Rickshaw, not even auto rickshaw, the pedaling rickshaw. And you put your luggage in that and you will going to your house by rickshaw. You all know what rickshaw, you have seen rickshaw, right? In Vrindavan also we'll see rickshaw. In some places not no more existing these things. But the rickshaw, this man is pedaling and you are just returned from abroad. United States of America, going in a rickshaw with your things, and then you're going in front of the house in front of rickshaw, and your father is coming and saying, my dear son, what happened to you? Is everything okay? You lost a job or what? Did they kick you out of what happened? Why you're coming in rickshaw? They are not, are they going to be happy seeing their son coming from a foreign country in a rickshaw? They're not going to be happy. They expect you come in a nice car, well dressed up, and you joyful. Right? The long waited desire of Bhishma Dev is to see Pandavas being happy. Unspoken truth. He wants to see this Pandavas, his great grandchildren, to be happy because they have suffered a lot in their life. They suffered a lot in their life from their childhood. So you want to see them happy. And therefore, to make Bhishma Dev happy, what did they do? Sat Ashvaihi Sarva Bhushitaihi. They took a best of horses and best of chariot, they went. Therefore, decoration of oneself is very important. When you go to a function, when you go to a part, this is a simple example. That lesson is when you go to a place, you have to be well dressed up, nicely. You go there. That is external, because when you're coming to the temple, you come not not taken bath or smelly or dirty things. Not you have to come to. You're coming to see someone who's great. So you come nicely, very nicely. You have to be in a way that Krishna is ready to embrace you. You come dirty, Krishna. Of course, don't argue with me after that. Prabhu is Atma, not body. What are you teaching here? Please understand, we are still in the body. Therefore, we present ourselves in front of Krishna nicely. External appearance also very important. So we decorate nicely. And now the second part is you're going to go see an elderly person. Therefore, internal dressing up is also important. Internal dresses, I am going to the temple. I am going to go to the function. Now you prepare yourself how you want to be when you go there. Therefore, the internal dressing up is so very important also. So external dress and internal dress, and that is what we can learn a lesson. Sad Ashvaihi, Swarna Bhushitaihi. That our first lesson. The second lesson is when you dress up nicely internally and externally, what happens? The second part happens. Tadate Bhratara Sarve Anvagachan Ratir Vipraha Vyasa Dhaumyadas Tata. These 3 lines we have to take it to the second lesson. What is it? When you are well behaved, when you are presentable, that attracts people. Yes or no? When you are the best of character, best of behavior, you're very well. Naturally, people get attracted to that person. When they get attracted, they're not going to say hi bye. They'll follow you. And that's exactly what happened over here. And again, these are all my realizations from these 2 slokas. Do not ask me that is it told by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidya Bhushan. Everyone has their own realization of how you understand Srimad Bhagavatam in support of our teachings from the Acharyas. There's nothing wrong having self understanding of the slokas. So excuse me if you feel somewhat different here. So here, when you have best character, best behavior, people get attracted. When they get attracted, they will follow. They'll follow you. They will definitely follow you. Mahajano yena gata sapantaha. They'll follow you nicely. Now Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that the great people are, when the great people set an example, the common people, yadyat achati sheshtaha. And when great person follows something, that common people will follow naturally. So that is an important thing. But what happens is sometimes when we are good, we do our best. We are in our best of the characters and behavior. You may be surprised, even you will have enemies. You will have people who don't like you. In fact, you will have less people supporting you more than good people. How can you say this, Prabhu? You can say that from Kurukshetra War. How many Akshogani Pandavas had? How many Akshogani Kauravas had? Kauravas had 11 Akshohani, the army set. And the Pandavas only had 7. 7 plus 11, 18. That's also another number, 18 number. 18 Akshohanis. When you are trying to be good, when you are good, we are not doing the right thing. Do not expect everyone is going to support you. Do not expect. There's going to be challenges, especially there'll be challenges when you're trying to do good things. Unfortunately, that's how the world has been designed. But as long as we are following the right path of dharma, right path of teachings of our gurus and acharyas to please Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, that matters. It really matters. If we try to please our own self, then there's a problem. Therefore, the important, don't get discouraged when things we are not getting support of many things. Pandavas were not discouraged because they know Krishna was on their side. Therefore, the second lesson from the first lesson, when we follow the first lesson, being to the best of your character, decorate yourself with the best of your character, people will start following you. That's the second lesson. So what happens when the people get attracted to you? When they get attracted to you, there will be a due respect given to us. Respect comes naturally. You will become a respectful person. That is, Bahavan api viprarishe ratena sa dhananjayah. Ratena sa dhananjayah. If you remember in Bhagavad Gita, the way that Bhagavad Gita took place was Krishna was giving advice and instruction to Arjuna. When you are giving an advice to someone, you should always be on the upper position. And the one who is receiving the advice should be on the lower position. That's how it is. That's the right traditional way of receiving instructions and advices. Whereas, to our surprise, Krishna was down, Arjuna was up, sitting up. Right? That mistake, Krishna taught that's not the way that you should do, because why? This is how we can understand. This line says, Bahavan api vipra rishe ratena sa dhananjaya. The conversation when Yudhishthira Maharaj was depressed, not happy, at the time when Krishna said, well, let's go to Bhishmadev, right? Let's go to Bhishmadev. Krishna did not jump into Yudhishthira Maharaj's chariot and sat next to him like this, unless he was not going in the same chariot with Yudhishthira Maharaj. Knows the point. These are details that we have to observe. That Yudhishthira Maharaj and Krishna was having conversation about the problem. When Krishna suggested, let's go to Bhishmadev, Yudhishthira said, yes, let's go. They did not travel in the same chariot because why? Krishna was setting an example that by age, because Krishna has taken a human form in this, he has to set an example. By age, who's older? Yudhishthira is older. When Yudhishthira is older, you cannot call him as a buddy. You have to pay a due respect to the person who's elder, not only by age, by their knowledge, by their service, by their bhakti. We have to give the due respect to the devotees who have done extraordinary things in their life. They would not come and ask, respect me, Prabhu, fall at my feet. But one has to be respectful to the seniors. They may be younger than us, they may be older than us. That's one thing. Irrespective of whether the person is devotee or non-devotee, the elders must be respected. That is the culture. That is Sanatana Dharma. Prabhu, I will only fall at the feet of devotees. No, that's not what the thing is. A person comes elder. Prabhupada says, you should fall when you see a sannyasi. Doesn't matter he is a Mayavadi or not. You don't follow them, their philosophy, but he has taken a renounced order of life. For that reason, we have to respect them. Therefore, respect should be given to everyone who deserves it by age, by knowledge, by their bhakti, and so forth. That's an important point that we should learn from this one. So what did we learn? Lesson 1, decorate ourselves with good characters and behaviors that will make the people. So lesson 2, that leads to people to follow us, attract us, and when they get attracted to us, they follow us. Lesson 3 is, as they follow, they pay respect to us. Respect is not we are all expecting for. That naturally comes. That's the point. We don't go and ask for respect me, and respect me. It naturally comes. That's okay. That's okay to have this one. What do they gain by getting respect? A person who's getting respect, what do they gain? When you gain a respect, the fourth lesson that we learn, is Sate Vyarochata Nripaha. when the person is being respected, what happens is that he gains spiritual wealth. That becomes their wealth. The association of the devotees becomes their wealth. How is that person is having the association of the devotees? You will only associate with the devotees if you like that person with the best of their qualities. You don't want to associate with someone who doesn't have good qualities. Therefore, you are respected. By the respect, what happens is you gain the wealth of devotees. That's why we have satsanga. We have devotees around. That becomes our wealth, the real wealth. But that is the fourth thing. We have gained the riches. Now, what happens with the respect and the wealth of the divorce that we got? The last lesson, the fifth lesson, the spiritual wealth that we gained will make us to be glorified. That is Kuvera Iva Guhya Kaihi. Now, Vyasadeva Sukadeva Goswami is comparing Yudhishthira Maharaj with who? Kuvera. With Kuvera. When we are to the best of our behaviors, practicing our devotional service, people get attracted. When the people get attracted, they start following us. When they start following us, they pay due respect to us. When the respect comes, you will be able to convey the message of Krishna consciousness to them. Unless and until we have respect, who is going to come and listen to us? You listen to someone only if that person is a respectable person, yes or no? You don't go and ask someone walking on the street, please give me some advice. What do I do for in my life? No. You go and ask advice to a person who is respectable. And you only respect, I'm repeating, so it's very important. You only respect a person who has been a certain example by having an association of the devotees who are following that devotee. And why do they follow the devotees? Because he set an example of what a devotee means by his characters. By his character. Therefore, Kubera Iva Guhya Kaihi. So what we learn, to summarize now, what we learn is from this particular sloka, Sad Ashvaihi Swarna Bhushitaihi. That means decorate with good characters and behaviors that will lead to Tadate Bhratara Sarve Anvagachan Rate Vipraha Vyasa Dhaumya Tata. That means when we have that one, the people get attracted to us, the devotees get attracted to us, and when they get attracted to us, they follow us. They follow our footsteps. I mean, why do we have to have follow? I'm not in a position to become a great. It's no, we all are gurus in one way or the other. We are all leaders. We are representing Srila Prabhupada. We are representing Krishna. We are representing this great movement. Whether you accept or not, people are watching us, our activities. And if you're going to, we have to set an example to these people so that they can come to us. Now, Tada, so the Bhagavan api vipras rishe ratena sa dhananjaya. Attracted people will pay due respect. With the due respect, Satair Vyarochata Nripaha. Nripaha. Nr means man, Pa means protector. One who protects the mankind. In other words, called king. That's called the Shabda, the Dhatu is Nripa means Pa Dhatu means protector. Therefore, Nripa means the king. The people, the wealth for us become the association of the devotees. Now, lastly, Kuvera Iva Guhya Kaihi. That wealth gives us glorification. The glorification means what? Prabhu, I'm not into this glorification. No, wait for one important message. The glorification means that Krishna, if someone is being glorified, that means Krishna is pleased with that person. That person, Krishna is pleased. Otherwise, without Krishna's will and wish and sankalpa, no one can be praised. No one can be glorified. Therefore, someone is doing a fantastic service, fantastic thing. That person is glorified. When that person is getting glorified, Krishna becomes very pleased. What does it matter for us when Krishna becomes pleased? That means Krishna is going to, when Krishna is pleased, only when Krishna is pleased, Krishna embraces us. Everyone is hankering for that moment of being embraced by Krishna. Therefore, the point here is, let us all decorate ourselves with good behaviors and characters. That is told in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam by examples of great Mahajanas. And then when you do this one, the people get attracted to Krishna consciousness. and then when we bring in new people into Krishna consciousness, and because of the character, not only we focus on the bringing in new, this is an important point, we not only focus on bringing in new devotees to to our Krishna consciousness, we also nourish our relationship with our existing devotees. Because what happens is that we focus on the new people, we forget the old people. That is another problem we also have. Therefore, we have to balance between new and existing. Existing also we have to have good relationship, nourish our relationship further and further and further. We also bring in new people also to the lotus feet of Krishna. When people get attracted to us, we get respect, but that respect is our wealth, and that wealth is a glorification which attracts Krishna. Yes, so far with me. So therefore it is very important, and also we also witnessed this one. The important thing is we must be thinking, what are we talking here? We witnessed this of a great character and behavior where a person brought, many people follow that person, and many people have taken up Krishna consciousness, and that person is glorified. We witnessed this in just 2 days back on a Thursday night, New Year, His Grace, Atulananda Prabhu. Atulananda Prabhu. Best of characters, best of behavior. He was doing the service not for himself. He was just doing as a servant of servant of servant of servant. Not a moment we can see a pride of being a rich man or a professionally great person. Nothing. He was always there washing pots. Always that column is running and coming, and always serving prasadam and washing and mopping things. Is amazing. We don't need to go to the histories of Puranas to see how humble that person is. Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these are wonderful. Today, now, do we have someone as an example? Yes. And even at this moment, wanting to serve the devotees to the best. And because of the best qualities and characters, we can see how many people. By the way, what we saw that day, the crowd is not even 0.001% of what contacts and network and how many people Atulananda Prabhu has affected, impacted positively. There are a lot more people out there. That is only less than 1%. So we can see this as an example that how our characters can impact people. So with that said, thank you all very much. Let's all pray to Krishna Balaram, Nitai Gaur Nataraj to follow Mahajana Yena Katha Sapantaha, like the example of His Grace Atulananda Prabhu and all the wonderful devotees of our movement. Hare Krishna. Thank you. And let's not forget that let's all pray. Let Krishna Balaram Nitai Gaur Nataraj, our Guru Parampara, bless Atulananda Prabhu to give the complete mental strength. That should be our prayer. Let him be strong and let him continue the way that he is to be more stronger. So Mukunda Murtana Pranipatya Yache Bhavantam Ekantam Iyantam Artam Avismititta Charanara Vinde Bhave Bhave Me Astu Bhava Prasada. Let them always remember the lotus feet of Krishna, which is the only shelter and protection to all of us. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Thank you. Let's see if there is any discussions, questions, or anything. 1 second. Let me see how to stop. I don't know. So stop sharing right there. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anyone? Yeah.
You see, Krishna Maharaj is, he's, and it's the whole universe since crores and crores of years and what I mean. Bhishma Dev came, because he's also immortal. So many things. But what is the bottom line that Yudhishthira Maharaj came to Bhishma? Bhishma himself is well versed in all things. Why did he come and consult Bhishma? What is it? Some underlying principle.
Yamaraj is Dharma personified. Bhishma Dev is Dharma in action. Krishna is Dharma himself. These three personalities are present at the same time. in this particular thing to make us understand Dharma is present there, which is Krishna himself present there, and who is setting as an example of Dharma is Bhishma Dev, and the knower of Dharma is Yamaraj. They are all together to set this as an example. We have to have all this in our life. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? Yeah? Yeah, either one, definitely.
I really like that story with these two verses that you put together and the points that you made.
Thank you.
Very nice. I have to learn how to put in the verses.
Thank you. Anyone else online?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, I just have a very nice, first of all, like to comment that it's very nice series of lessons that you presented, and they're definitely good takeaway for all of us. I often get confused in one aspect and like to clarify with your insight on this. Today we touched the topic of pratishtha, getting a praise and getting respect is also essential in the entire preaching process. One should look forward for that. If I'm taking it correctly, probably I should not have mistaken that, but that was one of the lessons, and that one should be looking forward for that. But at the same time, we also recite the Sharanagati prayer from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he specifically mentioned pratishtha as a bhagini, means that which like whenever we are looking for a pratishtha or self-respect, it is something, or somebody is praising us, is something which is always gives some kind of negative impact. That is something I'm just with little bit confusion on that side. Just seeking some help there. If you can clarify on that part.
Simple. Thank you for that question. We are not demanding respect. It's a command of respect. The respect comes naturally. We are not working towards respect. The respect comes naturally because of what we are. And then when it comes, our mindset, we should have Satvika Ahankar. There is Ahankar called Satvika Ahankar. Satvika Ahankar is very good. Ahankar is bad. Satvika Ahankar is good because that mindset is, I am not the doer. That is called Satvika Ahankar. I am not the doer. The doer is, all the credits goes to Prabhupada, my Guru, Prabhupada and Krishna. When it comes, I accept it. When I accept the glorification and respect, I pass it on to my Guru Parampara. When someone is coming and telling that, Prabhu, you are Dhanavan, because that person really gives a lot of donation and charity. If someone is coming and telling you're Dhanavan, there are two types of people. One, maybe three types of. One person says, yeah, I am. The look at the face. Yeah, I am. Right? That's one way. The other devotees who may say is, no, Prabhu. They will go into the extreme of no, denying what has been told. Not necessary you have to deny. The fact is fact. So the third category of people is accepting with an humble mood of mindset called Sattviya Ahankar. I accept it mentally. How in the world can you imagine? How many of you have attended the Vyasa Puja of your Guru Maharaj or any Maharajas? Yes. Can you imagine what a situation for that Maharaj to sit on a Vyasa cell, hundreds and thousands of devotees and people are glorifying him so much so for hours together. Not only that, in front of all these people, they have to wash the feet. He's giving the feet like this and doing all these things. Do you think they're enjoying that moment? How many of you think that, oh, I wish I was there? They wash my feet. It's a difficult position to take such things. Vyasa Puja for many sannyasis is not a happy moment. But they take it, this is called Satvika Ahankar. Satvika Ahankar means they take it as a humble service to give pleasure to the devotees, but the credit, whatever they've been receiving, they immediately pass it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, mentally, they won't say this. Mentally, they think, Prabhupada, all glories to you. All glories to you. Mentally, they say, when someone has been praised, mentally we chant, Prabhupada, I was just an instrument in your service. I did nothing. You made me dance, made me dance, made me dance. I was just an instrument. So every credit goes to you, Prabhupada. All glories to Prabhupada. That is what is the message that we have to take and apply and tune our mind in such a way to receive respects and glorification. That helps. Padmadisha Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. Especially that example of Vyas Puja is definitely impacting. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Anyone else? Chakri Prabhu?
I was wondering about the time, a little bit, about death. I was wondering, like, Hanuman, and prior keeping still. One devotee told me, Vrindavan, Prabhupada of that, Prabhupada was apparently only suffering. So I was wondering if that is dichotomy there, or
Mourning and suffering for, I didn't.
first if he was very pain and suffering, but he was manifesting mourning. So, but we know Hanuman, he was not even burned at all, like fire on tail. So I was wondering how do you.
Well, Hanuman thing was, okay, you're trying to, the question for online devotees is, Hanuman tail was burnt, but he was running around, jumping around and burning the Lanka. He was not sitting and crying and mourning and suffering. Whereas Chakri Prabhu is saying that Prabhupada in Vrindavan, he was going through pain and he was mourning and he was suffering and he was also crying. That you said?
I don't know about crying.
Whatever. So he was also going through something. But then we really don't know what Prabhupada's mind and mood and how he was and what he was feeling internally. We cannot access that is internal relationship with Radharani and Krishna. We don't even want to. I'm not in a position to even say what was Prabhupada going through at that point of time of why he was mourning. People mourn for, like people like myself, we mourn for material and tucham, the insignificant things, like sit and cry. But Prabhupada is not going to sit and cry. That's my understanding. Prabhupada is not going to sit and cry for Krishna. Why am I suffering like this? Krishna is going to be mourning for Krishna. I'm happy that I'm going to come to you soon. Maybe whatever reason he was thinking of, however he was thinking, we don't know. So that is beyond my capacity to comment anything on why Prabhupada was mourning.
At the fragment of his life, at the past time, Prabhupada was telling to all that everything is happening as per the laws of nature. That time, when he's leaving his body, he's talking about philosophy. Somebody may say, oh, Ved my son, Ved my daughter, and he was talking philosophy.
Yeah.
So that's a great.
So Gopeshwar Prabhu was telling, when Prabhupada was leaving his body, he was, even at that point of time, he was talking philosophy and giving lectures in Bhagavatam Katha. We saw that at the, we saw last passing of Prabhupada. There's a video. You see Prabhupada still chanting and giving. It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know. That's only Prabhupada can do it. Okay.
Thank you for taking this list, and last minute we requested, even though it's a travel day, give us your assistance.
Thank you, Prabhu. As always, St. Louis, very special. Thanks for all the devotees for coming. And to the surprise, they made a small gathering also last night. Some devotees were able to make it. It was nice. We spent a lot of nice time discussing and having a lot of fun also there. Thank you all very much for keeping me in the family of St. Louis. Hare Krishna. Please forgive me for any offenses. Hare Krishna. La Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Nataraj ki jai. Krishna Balaram.
Jai Lal Gopal Prabhu ki
Right.
Thank you,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Pranam,
Hare
Prabhu. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.